The health department finally acknowledges the possibility of the Delta variant already spreading at community level in the country. The Department of Health reports nearly 16,700 fresh COVID-19 infections, the second highest daily rise in cases since the onset of the pandemic. President Duterte says he is willing to stand by and battle Health Chief Francisco Duque amid corruption allegations, even if it erodes his popularity. On Ninoy Aquino Day, Malacanang urges the Filipino people to honor the late senator's legacy by sacrificing personal interests for the common good. And tech giant Samsung unveils a new clamshell foldable phone as counter to the upcoming iPhone release of its rival Apple. Fast, focused, and fearless, here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Riza Diaz. Based on samples from the Philippine Genome Center, there already is a community transmission of the Delta variant of COVID-19. But the health department says there is still not enough evidence to officially declare it. In today's Laging Handa briefing, Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeres said the agency still needs enough evidence to determine the level of transmission of the Delta variant. But Vergeres assured the public that despite projections of a rise in new infections in the coming days, the government has already been implementing measures as if there was a community transmission.
Mula pa naman po nung umpisa, we treat it already as a community transmission at yun na po yung mga aksyon na ginagawa natin. Kailangan lang natin ng enough evidence so we can officially declare.
Now, for infectious disease expert Dr. Ronchin Solante, there's already a community transmission of the Delta variant. In an earlier interview here on One News, Solante, head of the adult infectious disease at the San Lazaro Hospital in Manila, said the drastic increase in cases is a characteristic of the Delta variant spread. Solante added that despite the small number of samples from the Philippine Genome Center, plenty of these actually were proven to be the Delta variant.
When you have more than 48% of the samples are Delta variant, then we would presume that this is now the current and most likely the variant that drives the transmission in the community.
Solante, meanwhile, said that the bed capacity in San Lazaro Hospital is almost at full capacity. He added that more young people are getting infected with COVID-19 and that 70% of the critical cases have not received their vaccines.
The scenario here, we will be having lots of this more severe critical that cannot be accommodated anymore in the ICU. Some of these patients will just be intense in the emergency room. And then you will also expect higher mortality for this severe critical patient.
Now, as for the latest COVID-19 numbers, the health department logs more than 16,600 new cases. This brings the country's total caseload closer to 1.82 million, with active cases inching closer to 124,000. Meanwhile, 398 patients died of the infection, the highest in over 4 months. The country's death toll remains at 31,500. Now, some 15,800 patients recovered from the disease, bringing total recoveries to 1.66 million. The DOH also reported that among 65,000 people who got tested of COVID-19 last Thursday, over a quarter or 25.2% were positive of the virus. President Duterte is once again backing Health Secretary Francisco Duque despite mounting criticisms and calls for his resignation. JC Cosico has the report.
The health department has been facing heavy criticisms over its supposed deficiencies in the handling of pandemic funds, as flagged by the Commission on Audit. Despite this, President Rodrigo Duterte doesn't see any reason to fire Health Chief Francisco Duque III. Duterte said he would be doing a great injustice if he fired Duque, as the latter would be dogged by insinuations of corruption for the rest of his life.
You want to ask them, for what? Ano ba ang nagawa niya na kasamaan? I'm sorry, but I said, baski mag-isa na lang ako, I will stand for Duque, even if it will bring me down.
Duterte also denied defending the DOH, saying he was just sharing his opinion. On the COA reports, Duterte said he understands that these are part of the agency's mandate, but he explained the reports must be reconfigured and that COA must clarify that there is no corruption involved.
Alam ko walang mali siya. You are just doing your duty, but in making the report, kindly reconfigure everything. And sabihin sa una, at the first instance, pag ma-interview ka, sabihin mo na kaagad, there is no corruption here because there is no money involved.
Duterte also asked COA to give agencies sufficient time to answer the findings, as the public would immediately perceive it as corruption. The president noted that due to the pandemic, government agencies are implementing a skeletal workforce. This for him is the reason why documentation that auditors request takes time.
They are fighting a war against an enemy na hindi natin nakikita. Give them an enough elbow room to move.
Aside from this, Duterte ordered Duque to pay health workers who are still waiting to receive their benefits.
Yung nagrereklamo ng frontliners about their allowances, about whatever, pati itong volunteers na magbakuna. This an order, Secretary Duque. Bayaran mo. Use whatever money there is.
The budget department has been given 10 days to release the funds.
Wala kayong personnel, borrow from other agencies or from San. Pagkuha kayo ng mga empleyado, maghiraman ninyo yung tagakuha para bigay mo yung pera kay Secretary Duque tapos bayaran niya.
Duterte expressed willingness to use his office's contingency funds to expedite the release of their benefits. For News 5, JC Cosico, We Are One News.
Duterte is urging Filipinos to honor the late Senator Ninoy by sacrificing for the common good and by becoming resilient as the country battles a pandemic. In his message for the 38th anniversary of Aquino's death, Duterte said Filipinos should draw strength from the selflessness of the late senator. Duterte said the commemoration is truly timely, not only because of the pandemic, but also due to the recent death of the late senator's son and former President Ninoy III. Duterte also called on Filipinos to take the lessons from the country's storied and colorful past so that everyone may truly value, learn, and appreciate who we really are as a nation. With Senator Manny Pacquiao's fight just a day away, many of his supporters, especially in his hometown, are excited to see him back in the ring after 2 years. Gemma Vansenia has the story.
Loyal fans of boxing champ Senator Manny Pacquiao in General Santos City are all excited for his fight against Cuban boxer Yordenis Ugas. This group of tricycle drivers said they never miss to watch even one single fight of the pambansang kamao. They are hoping that Pacquiao will deliver another victory.
Excited na talaga kami. Sana manalo siya bukas, pero kaya niya yan.
Every fight, nanonood talaga kami ng laban niya. Pride ng Pilipinas, kaya lagi kami excited sa laban niya.
In Maasim, Sarangani Province, posters showing support for the boxing champ are already up. But due to the COVID-19 pandemic, there will be no free viewing unlike in his previous fights. The Lagaw Gym, which had been used before by the Jensen local government for free viewing, is now closed.
Pandemic kasi. Tapos, executive order, bawal ang gatherings. At the same time, ang Lagaw Gym ang ginagamit sa COVID response. Sa mga ayuda, bigas.
In a recent interview, Pacman's mother, Janisha Pacquiao, said she's confident that his son will beat Ugas. Before Pacquiao left for the US, she said that she prayed for his son and told him not to be complacent. All eyes will be on Pacquiao on Sunday as he looks to reclaim the WBA super welterweight belt from Ugas. For News 5, Jem Avancenia, we are One News.
Feeling nostalgic and missing flip or foldable phones? Look no further. Samsung is positioning its latest smartphone as a rival to the upcoming iPhone release. More details in this Bloomberg story.
This flipping phone has all the usual specs you expect from a flagship Android phone, except quite smaller dual battery. With the sleek design and compact size, it has become the most intriguing and different counter to Apple's iPhone in years. Foldable phones accounted for only a fraction of the smartphone market as they were way too expensive, fragile, and compromised in specs. But now, Samsung is finally making a big leap here. Samsung has committed to mainstreaming foldable phones this autumn, skipping Galaxy Note this year, and focusing on all the attention on the Flip as the more mass-market gadget and the Fold as the ultra-premium offering. I've been using this Flip since it first came out to the world in February last year. And the best part about using this Flip series is its compact powder size and the flex mode. And there are many ways to take photos or videos with various angles. For me, the two biggest improvements for the Flip 3 are the front screen and water resistance. With this cover screen, that's 4 times bigger than the original one. It's much easier to read messages, take selfies with the rear cam, check schedules, and use Samsung Pay. And I can watch my phone or even take selfies inside the water. But I don't recommend you to do this because you will get this warning sign. The inner screen gets sturdier than the previous one, and it finally has a stereo speaker. And we have the tan brown edition of the Fold 3. This entire package, which is more than $3,400, includes Samsung's new wearable devices and accessories designed by Tom Brown. First of all, Samsung made a bold move to slash prices to $1,800 and improve durability. This phone is now capable of using stylus, which costs around $50 to $100. Samsung introduced under-display selfie camera for the first time for its smartphone. Buzz 2 has better noise cancelling and it's more comfortable to wear for several hours compared to Buzz Pro or Live. Samsung's making pivots to provide healthcare features for Watch 4, and it's already making a hit at home.
And for more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now, www.signalplay.com, and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.